Ah, yes. Well, it's a new situation. The population is changing, the attitudes are shifting, and we need to be able to connect with them, represent them, at the same time lead them. And that's three very different and very important requirements. I think the way we have done things has been effective with generations of the past, and even in this election, because we won 60% of the vote. But if you look forward and project ahead, looking at the internet generation, looking at the new group of Singaporeans whose life experiences are quite different and whose aspirations are different, we have to be with them and connect with them too. And that means you need to be skillful, not just on the internet, as I said, but you have to be thinking on the same wavelength. So not just the same website, but to be able to engage, to know what is on their minds, to bring them in and to draw out their talents and their energies in order to work for the common good, work together and work with us. And you have to do it through many different ways. Some of it is through community work, like through the CDCs, where many people come forward and do this, help the government to connect with the people and to have its programs implemented, whether it's social work programs, whether it's bonding programs. Some of it is NGO type civic society work, like people who are passionate about animal welfare, or even dolphins, I see, has attracted some attention now with RWS, or with KTM land projects. Some of it will be more social, some of it will be more political oriented, some of it may be just special interest group rather than with a higher objective in mind, but it's something which brings people together and therefore strengthens the links amongst people. And we have to be there, connected with them, and we have to get our perspective across. I don't expect that we will be in a position where 90% of the people will say, yes, you are right, because that's not the nature of human society or of the problems which we face. But I think that if we work hard, we can convince a substantial number that we are trying to do good for people, and if they work with us, they can do good for Singapore too. And it's worthwhile for them to work with us and change as we change. As they work with us, they change and we change. And I think that's something which the party has to work at very hard, reaching out to the new generation, new formats, new media, new activities, but also keeping our traditional base, the older ones, Singaporeans who have contributed a lot to Singapore, and I think who deserve to have their voices heard too.
So the recent PA controversy has renewed calls for the PA system to not favour any party. Do you agree with those arguments?
Well, the PA has put out its perspective in letters to the Straits Times. I agreed with those. I cleared those letters, so I think that is a position. I think the PA is not a political organization. It's part of the government, just like the Ministry of Education is part of the government, runs the schools. Ministry of Health is part of the government, runs the hospitals. The PA is part of the government, runs the grassroots network, as well as the community centres and the RCs and the CCCs. And they help the government to reach out and to connect with the people. You look at the CDCs, which are part of this PA network, and you listen to what Sam Tan explained just now, what are the things which a CDC has been doing, and you talk to the CDC members who are on the council, and you see what they're trying to do. They're trying to assist the needy, they're trying to bond the community, they're trying to connect the people together and connect them with the government. And you administer the government's programs, you administer Comcare, you administer Workfare, you administer all kinds of social assistance, social safety net programs. At the same time, you have to do some things which are not always nice things. I mean, for example, if we have to do some public works for an MRT project and it has to go somewhere, somebody has to be affected. Then it falls to the grassroots to be the interface, to work with the people, with the residents, to try and help to minimize the impact, but at the same time, ultimately, what has to be done has to be done. So these are really government functions. So the grassroots, they are members of the PA network, and the PA serves all the residents in the constituency, and it's non-political. In fact, it doesn't allow political activities on its premises or when it runs its own activities. But the guidance must be from somebody who is working on behalf of the government. It's like having a Ministry of Education. The civil servants are impartial, are neutral, but the minister is a government minister, or Minister for Health, or for that matter, the CDC mayor. He is a government person. And so the grassroots advisors have to be somebody who can work with the government and help the government to achieve its goals on the ground. I think that's necessary. The MP has his role. Let me wet myself, getting a bit warm. The MP has his role, and he runs the town council, and when things involve the MP, we will engage the MP and we will bring him into the picture, whether it's when we pay out USAFE bursaries or when we give town council rebates. The MP has his role to play. So between the MP and the advisor, if there are different people, the residents will be properly served. I think it has to work like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.